Oh, there's a ball game they're going to try to play tonight. You can see we have batting practice going on, but we have some problems with rain. We will talk about that and the spectacular weekend ahead, all straight ahead.
All right, Paul, also grief and anger mix at the funeral of a man shot to death by a Grand Rapids police officer. The Reverend Al Sharpton repeating a demand the city has refused.
So why are these kids lugging water up and down a hill for 1.5 miles?
Oh, no, it's fine. I got it.
It's called an empathy exercise. And their teacher believes it's better that they learn it young.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sandra Ali in for Karen Drew. Many of us keeping a close eye on the sky as we head into the weekend. Rain tonight could impact baseball history, and some of you could be reminded what 80 degrees feels like. Paul Gross previewing a big weekend forecast. Paul?
Absolutely. The transition from the cooler weather we have today with temps in the 50s to the 70s to near 80 this weekend. That transition comes with weather, and that weather is in the form of rain. We've had a few light sprinkles and very light showers in the area right now. Those are not a big deal, but back to the west, we're watching just an increase in rain. You can see some of that here, and there's even more across the lake over in Illinois. So we have to watch all of that heading this way, and unfortunately, it's going to wreak some havoc, I think, with the game tonight. Now, here we are, live shot of the ballpark. They are doing batting practice, so we decided to keep that at least going. But look at this. Temps are only in the upper 40s to low 50s across the area. Wind is generally blowing from an easterly component at generally 5 to 15 miles per hour. So if you're going to the game tonight, bring rain gear. I'm just telling you right now, because we're going to, between 6 and 7, when you're probably arriving at the ballpark, scattered showers, but rain and perhaps thunder even during the game. Temps only around 50, dropping into the 40s by the end of the game. But then we have this weekend ahead that you've been waiting for over a week now. We'll talk about it straight ahead, Sandra.
All right, Paul, whether you're a baseball fan or not, you'll probably be talking about Miguel Cabrera's chase for 3,000 this weekend. Let's go ahead and show you a live look right now at Comerica Park. The Detroit Tiger, one hit away from reaching 3,000 in his career. Not only that, once he reaches that mark, he'll be one of just 3 players to have 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, and a career average over 300. The other 2 players in that club, Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. The Tigers set to play the Colorado Rockies tonight at 7. Bernie Smilovitz will be live at Comerica Park tonight, starting at 5. A man who's been in prison for 15 years will now have to wait until next week to see if he will in fact be exonerated. Attorneys were scheduled today to ask the judge to clear convictions for Terrence Calhoun. He pled to kidnapping and other charges back in 2007 and was identified by 2 victims. But prosecutors say new evidence resulted in the identification of another man. But the judge revealed a Detroit police officer came into court this morning saying there is in fact more evidence that needs to be reviewed. Attorneys say Calhoun's family came from out of state hoping that he would have left jail today a free man.
Extremely disappointed for Mr. Calhoun, and as you can see, his family is absolutely devastated. So I've never seen anything like that happen before in all my years of practice. I can't fault the judge because a police officer has gone to her with what he thought was information was relevant. It is just really disappointing.
Calhoun, in fact, could be eligible for $50,000 from the state for every year spent in prison as a result of a wrongful conviction. We're going to take a closer look at what happens next, coming up for you tonight on Local 4 News at 6. Tears and intense grief in a Grand Rapids church today. This as hundreds gathered to remember a man who was killed by a police officer. Earlier this month, 26-year-old Patrick Lioya, a black man, was shot and killed by a police officer. It happened during a traffic stop in Grand Rapids. Lioya declined to get back into his car as he was ordered. There was a chase and a deadly struggle. Police video here shows the officer was on top of Lioya when he shot the 26-year-old in the back of the head. Those who attended the funeral today asked for change while demanding answers for the shooting.
How dare you hold the name of a man that killed this man? We want his name.
The officer, whose name has not been released, is on paid leave. He's also part of an investigation by Michigan State Police. So far, though, no charges have been filed against him. Detroit police officers say they actually fired shots at a man after a dangerous confrontation. It happened overnight at the BP gas station. This is on Schoolcraft and Outer Drive on the city's west side. Police say the driver reportedly got back in his truck after pumping gas and then drove directly at the officers, hitting one of them. Police say they fired shots at that man, hitting him once. The officer, who was hit by the car, is expected to be okay. Meantime, though, the driver was shot in the leg and was also taken into police custody. Each day we get new stories and new videos showing the devastating impact of Russia's invasion in Ukraine. And today we're hearing about soldiers trapped, the apparent discovery of new graves, and also a desperate plea from Mariupol's mayor. Devin Skillian in the newsroom for us now to fill in some of those details for us. Devin?
Yes, Sandra, just when you think the news out of Ukraine really can't get any worse, it does. Today, one Ukrainian official says not a single humanitarian corridor is open right now to help civilians who were caught in the middle of this war. That's on top of new horrors apparently discovered in the battered city of Mariupol. Satellite images show what seem to be mass graves there, and there are estimates that 900 people were put into those graves in an effort to hide what was basically a Russian slaughter. Meantime, more civilians and about 2,000 soldiers remain trapped inside a steel plant. They have refused to surrender. Vladimir Putin says he offered medical care and treatment if they would surrender. The folks in the steel plant are sealed off as Russia tries to eventually starve them out at this point. Plus, Russian troops continue to fire on the Donbas region it claims it's trying to liberate. Meantime, the mayor of Mariupol gave a desperate plea to the world. He says the best way to help his city is for countries to launch a full oil and gas embargo on Russia. He's telling the world anyone who's buying those products is financing the Russian war. Some countries, of course, do rely heavily on Russian energy supplies, making that a very tough choice. We continue to monitor events overseas. We'll have updates as needed and more coming up at 5:30. When I be joining Sandra then. Sandra, back to you.
All right, Devin, we'll see you then. At Detroit Country Day Middle School, the class that used to be called Geography has now been renamed. It's now Global Studies, and it's no longer just about memorizing people, places, longitude, latitude. It's also now about really fully understanding the struggles in every part of the world. Paula Tutman shows us an extraordinary lesson.
And it's like burning hot outside.
Okay, that's fine. Push through, buddy.
So come inside the experience, and it may look like this is the campus of Detroit Country Day, but imagine instead that you are in a remote village in Africa that has no running water.
And look how young the children are.
And this is not a creek bed of the Rouge River, but a raging tributary in that remote village, 4 miles away.
Are you curious, circling? Oh no, it's fine, I got it.
Children have vivid imaginations. And so it was easy to put them inside this exercise.
It was definitely tiring because the buckets were really heavy.
Today, the lesson is one about empathy and what's called the water walk, in which women and children are charged with delivering water to an entire community. These 6th graders must embody that experience.
I thought it was like really unnerving to know that people in Africa like have to do that every single day. Twice a day.
There are obstacles at every turn.
Tree's still falling. I didn't clear that out for you yet, so you gotta walk back around that way.
Questions are asked.
What is that word where you like really put yourself in someone's shoes?
Reflect?
Not reflect, it starts with an E.
Empathy is like really like putting yourself in their position.
It really taught me how hard that journey is.
And children are deliberately and proactively taught to put themselves in the places of others.
I think it's important so we understand what's going on in other people's lives and how it must like feel for them and not just be worried about ourselves all the time.
It also made me think about how much struggles people are living in each day. Like each day, everybody is struggling.
What teacher Jennifer Kalin realized was that she can stand in a class and show pictures, have children read essays, and she can test on book knowledge. But she sees a bigger difference in the level of a child's understanding when they can experience and feel the conditions of the world.
They didn't really understand it until we started to do it with actual water, and then they started to really feel it in their arms and their shoulders. They had to take breaks. I just thought it was a way to connect the kids to something that for most of them is such an abstract concept.
Oh my God, finally!
I think that this was just, again, a wonderful, wonderful thing, and it's taught us so many life lessons, and I think that this was just amazing.
Yeah, really amazing, and no small trip, because there's the Rouge River right there. The kids have to pick up these buckets of water, and they really are not light at all. They've got to go up that hill, around the track twice, over obstacles, back down here where they actually put the water down. The teacher says, you know what, she believed that this was a good tool for teaching. Turns out it was a great tool for learning. Sandra?
Yeah, absolutely extraordinary. All right, thank you, Paula.